Yo, what is up, friends, foes, members of the Omni Council? My name's Daimien Kamiya and I'm the Omni King. A rare late night stream. I normally don't stream on the nights I close, but I didn't want to disrupt all the other streams, and I didn't even mean to disrupt the last two, to be fair, but to be honest, I was afraid I might doze off on this one, and I'm really trying not. I drank a Rockstar before I left work, so it would work by the time I got home. I got some gum here, hoping that might help. I have my food in front of me too. Like, I got home literally an hour ago, so I had to quickly make food and do some stuff. I haven't even showered yet, because I'm on the longer spectrum of shower time, so I knew I wouldn't be able to fit a shower in before 11. I'll shower after the stream, of course. But yeah, so we're just gonna get in this and we're just gonna do Chiori stream. We don't need to do dailies because dailies will be done automatically, because we can use the Chiori's quest to take credit for the dailies. We will also try out all the characters. The banners are kind of ridiculous. Chiori, Ito, Goro, Yunjin, and Dori. There is one non-Geo on banner, and it's Dori. And not gonna lie, Dori's not a bad character. Dori's not a good playable character. I think Dori's under the classification of one of the worst characters in the game. The thing is, Dori's good at what she can do, which is she's a fantastic battery, but there's so many other characters that can, even if they don't battery as good as her, can do other functional things, which is what makes Dori not great, because Dori's a terrible on-field character. Terrible. So, but yeah, so we're gonna head in on this. Let's just transition into the game here. So I'm just setting up. Let's give these characters a try. So let's see how Chiori plays. So far, she's from what people are saying, she's just a Geo Kaching / Al-Haytham, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because I like Kaching and Al-Haytham. I actually plan to pull on Al-Haytham the next time he's available. But it's hard to say with her being Geo. Oh, that auto-switched me.
Your life is mine. It's nothing. Everybody stand back. Delicate as silk. Let's go, Tomato. Tacky. You're toast. Don't waste my time. I am the cutting edge of
I like the cutscene though, like where it's a sheet that gets cut. She cuts the sheet. I don't know, nothing special about her in my opinion. As sad as it is to say. I was talking about her on a previous stream. She did not, like, who is it I was talking to about it? I forget, but she's like, she is just poor representation. She appeared once. Like, look at the two newest Geo characters, her versus Navia. Navia's been in the story since the first chapter of Fontaine, right? You learn to fall in love with her. She's great. They also basically reinvented Geo with her to make her such a fucking monster on the field. Meanwhile, Chiori appeared once in one event that didn't really explain much of her character. An event that's not playable anymore. She's had such little representation. I learned more about Chiori from her trailer video than I have at any point in time in the game. That entire event she was a part of, I learned nothing about her. Outside of that, she was a seamstress and she's Geo. That's it. That's all I learned about her. Because one of my favorite things I like to do is understand why someone has a particular vision. I love that aspect of Genshin because, as I've explained before, visions, the element a person gets ties to how their ambitions align with the god's other belief. So those that have Animo got Animo because their ambitions allied with Venti's ideal of freedom. Right? So to have Geo means that she is very stingent on things like contracts, promises, or rules. She has a very finite concept of those things. So, but I learned none of that in her introduction in the event. I didn't learn anything about how she views rules or promises or stuff. I learned that in her trailer video, where she was very stingent about things like fairness and first come first serve in the industry and not taking flack from customers or status, right? She believes everyone is on an even playing field, right? Which actually fits into the concepts of Geo. Like I'm so in for the Sumeru Geo. And I've talked about this before. I personally think Sumeru's Geo is already defined, so I'm surprised they never came up with it. Sumeru's Geo. One second. I need to kind of blow my nose here. Let me I'm gonna take some coffee, some medicine for a second. I still have the phlegm problem, but the big problem I'm having with the phlegm is that when I talk, it goes up into my nose, blocks my nose, and then I struggle to breathe for a second. There's not much left of this, so. Ugh. You're never gonna like it. But yeah, the Sumeru Geo, I think I talked to maybe Twig or someone about this. Twig or Chloe or someone. It's already written there. The health and safety administrator of the academia. The academia is constantly doing experiments and field and research projects and stuff. There has to be someone that has to regulate health and safety to ensure everyone is safe and protected and ensures that nothing dangerous occurs during these experiments or research projects. What better person to have Geo than someone that fits into that? Right? So I don't know, maybe one day such a person will come out. Oh, that felt like to me someone that could have been written into the story. Because obviously, while Sino was getting shafted on his position of finding corruption in the academia and imprisoning people, health and safety person, I imagine, probably would have gotten just as shafted. But yeah, I don't think Chiori's necessarily a bad character, but she was given very poor representation. There's little to no information on her prior to her release. She's already probably the least used element in the game, following a character that reinvented how that element could work. It's sorry to say, there's just nothing special about her. On top of that, days before her banner released, Genshin confirmed the next banner has the knave on it, which many people want. So you've already basically confirmed a lot of people were confirmed on not pulling for her. A lot of those people are now even more confirmed because they want the knave. So this is it's a damn shame for Chiori. Just a damn shame. She's probably going to be, and the thing is, Ito's not a very favorable character either. They really should not have paired banners like this. I get sick and tired when they pair Ito with another Geo. I'm not even kidding. I get sick and tired of it. Pair Ito with someone else. Niverlet and Nahida are on the next banner, I think. It's Niverlet and someone. Why not have Niverlet paired with Chiori and then have Ito paired with that other person? Right? Stop doing that. Like, I just said, 4 to 5 banner characters right now are Geo. One of which literally requires 1 to 2 other Geo members in the party to be functional. It's poor, is all I'm saying. I said I was originally gonna pull for Ito so I could try and do the Ito, Noelle, Yunjin, but I don't care. I'd rather save at this point. Ito's not worth it to me. Especially since I've been kind of running around with different team comps now and all this sort of stuff, and right, so it's just a shame. They really need to figure out Geo. That's all I'm going to say. They may even need to rework the element entirely, because, or maybe just give it some hybridization with something. Allow it to work with Animo. Allow it to work with Dendro. Give it some reasonable functionality, because right now Geo's just going to, unless they keep coming up with characters like Navia, are they're just going to keep swinging and missing on Geos, I think, personally.
It's nothing.
Charge! Everyone on me!
Submit. I'm going in.
It's showtime!
It's a shame, because I do think Ito's a monster. Problem too is a lot of Geos are defense scaled, and Chiori is no exception to that either. Chiori is attack and defense scaled.
Advance! Rally! Oh, coming through! Attaboy!
Right, so it gives Chiori really, or it gives a lot of people don't like defense. They don't like building for defense characters.
Charge!
Don't waste my time.
Notice how most of these characters have all been the fucking same.
Adventure time. Let's light it up. I'm going in.
Press the advantage! Pull in!
As a good knight should.
Like, Goro has been pretty much almost on every team. Ningguang has been on every team.
Someone needs assistance. Teamwork is dreamwork.
Charge! Rally!
As a dutiful maid would.
I also think Noelle's really strong too, but again, it's hard to build for Geo. Especially, and not only is it hard to build for Geo, but I say this sometimes too, it's also very hard to build, as I like to refer to them, as lock-in characters. Characters that you can't switch off of without costing yourself DPS. Noelle, Ito, Child to some circumstances, Razor, Sino, all these characters whose burst is a huge part of their functionality, but if you switch off of them, you lose it. And it can be a pain to get back.
Oz, reveal thyself.
Advance! As you wish, main Fräulein.
Your grand finale.
Pull in! Press the advantage!
Leave it all to me. Time to clean up.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, there is good benefit to a Mono Geo team. I'm just saying, Yunjin, Goro, Ito, and Noelle, perfect.
Someone needs...
They all scale on defense, which is great.
Yes, stone, as a dutiful maid would.
Noelle and Ito can back each other up, so you always have their burst available. But like Navia doesn't work because A, she doesn't benefit from any defense scaling that occurs. And Navia benefits from Crystallize, which you won't really get too off. Like, unless the enemy has an element, you won't get off of Mono Geo team. Like, Navia could work off of Yunjin. That's not an issue. But the problem is Navia benefits from Crystallize, which is why Albedo is her best partner. With Zhongli as a backup. Because Zhongli does the same thing as Albedo can, but Zhongli's is a smaller range. But you're trading that range for basically invulnerability. Oh my god. A set that doesn't have Ningguang on it. I actually really want to try and make Dory work. I'm not even lying.
Here's the good. Pull it in. Help. Surrendering will be gentle.
I think I might actually... I'm thinking Dory and Kava could probably pair well together. Because Dory's not an on-fielder, and Kave can only be an on-fielder. The problem is Kave is entirely dependent on Bloom. Dory would just kind of be the battery, really. I'm almost over with this team. Albedo's so close to rank 10. And once he hits rank 10, I don't need, like, this is my burning team. There's so many characters I don't want to get rid of. The thing is, Kave is only useful as on-field, which means you'd need a really good Hydro and Dendro off-fielder. And the best Dendro off-fielder is Nahida by a mile. And the best... Kave is also not a fast attacker, so Yellen and Shincho probably wouldn't be the best to pair with him. Your best would probably actually be Farina. Especially since her skill lasts forever. Yao Yao could probably be a good off-fielder. She can also be a healer, too. I'll really scrap this team. I could move Hazo somewhere if I really want to keep him. This team's a bit of a mess. She has Electro Infusion. She can apply Electro to attacks. She has Pyro Infusion. and her burst can apply pyro, and that, like, in all honesty, Kuching's probably the odd one out on this team. Except when Yoimiya's, but Beto's burst is perfectly fine for that. Yeah, this set's really dependent on supercharge, but also when Mika eventually hits C6. But yeah, I can keep Farina here. I can... and then the problem here comes because it's like I could get rid of Yao Yao here, but Yao Yao is integral as the healer here. I don't have another Dendro healer. The only other one that exists is what's his face, Baijo, who I don't have. Like, I have no problem replacing Dendro Traveler with Raiden. I have no issue with doing that. I was really hoping Siegewein was going to be on these banners, but nope. Guess she'll probably be in the next one, maybe.
We may leave at any time.
I'll lead the way. Follow me.
The campaign begins.
And you change to good old Dory.
Come on, let's go. There's a fortune to be made.
And then you change to Kave.
I'll take care of this.
Just need to check their equipment and stuff. Okay, yeah, he needs to be reworked. Elemental Mastery, Dendro, Elemental Mastery. I probably want to go EM with some energy recharge. So, like, I probably want to try to pair, like, get a pairing of Instructor and then a pair, or whatever the Wanderers one is, this one. And then, what's it called? There it is. Got that. What's the other one it's paired? Okay, it's paired with that one. Oh, I can keep that one. That's Dendro bonus. And then it would be, I think it's this one, right? Of course. I know this is a huge delay as to what my actual plan is today, but ooh, that one's way better. Take that one. And then this one. I'm just gonna max it. Not the greatest, but I'll take it. I can ascend her? Why not?
Huh? Ta-da! No! Oh, fine.
I have all the materials I need to max this stuff up, so why not? Hmm. Tier 4 on this one isn't actually that bad. Since Dory's a battery anyways. Of course. The thing that sucks is just the bonuses on that. The energy recharge. All right, let me add in. Just get this to 12. Oh, I got a free pull. Yeah, that's good enough. We'll give this team a shot. As scuffed as it's probably going to be. All right. It's going to do that again. Yeah, it's going to do that again. All right. We are heading to the Cat's Tail to get rid of this bloody notification that I don't like seeing. All right. Don't get me wrong, though. I am excited to learn more about Chiori. I want to learn about all characters. That's why I want a Sarah hangout. We don't know enough about Sarah. I'd love to see an actual on-screen presence of her relationship with her brothers. She's adopted. What does that mean? How does that affect their relationship? Because the brothers have never once mentioned her, and she doesn't really mention them. Do they not have a good relationship? Does it have to do with the former head of the Cujo clan that fucked all that up?
Look at that! Roadside signs as far as the eye can see! Let's see what they're for. Fontaine Fashion Week? Ooh, why don't we go check out some of the shops? Maybe we can pick up some cool new clothes!
Is this really okay?
I told you I could do it using the leftover funds from the original deposit. Don't tell me you're afraid that I cheaped out on the dress.
No, not at all. I have only the fullest faith in your work, Miss Chiori. I'm just in shock, that's all. It's always been my dream to wear a Chiori boutique dress for my wedding. I really thought the chance had passed me by.
Wait, isn't that Chiori? She's actually at her shop today?
She actually came to work today?
Oh, you've got a point there. Well, once she's done with her customer, we can go and ask her.
I'm a woman of my word. If I say I can do something, then it'll be done. The first rule of business is to always keep your promises. Now, remember to not fold the gown, or store it under direct sunlight. I'd recommend only taking it out on the day of the wedding. But from the look on your face, I can tell that may be a little difficult for you.
Oh, I'll try my best. Once he sees me in this, his jaw is gonna drop straight to the floor.
Chiori, you're actually at your shop today!
Is that really so shocking? It is mine, after all. Anything you're looking for today? A custom design, or perhaps some ready-to-wear outfits for kids?
I wish we had a snippy response.
Oh. That. Well, if news of the event has reached your ears, I suppose the Fontaine Apparel Association's advertising efforts have paid off.
Are there any fun and popular activities that we can take part in?
Ugh, Fashion Week isn't what I'd call fun. But it certainly always attracts a crowd. It's a fashion extravaganza that only takes place once a year, after all.
Will you be showing off some of your designs too?
Wonder if there'll be any other
Of course. All
Vision
designers
characters
at the
in
Court of
the,
Fontaine use the week to advertise their brand.
their story. Like,
If you're lucky, you could even land a large amount of orders as soon as the main show ends. Come to think of it, it was also at a previous fashion week that our label first took off.
Aren't you pretty much an established name now? People will still buy your clothes even if you don't participate this year, right?
Yeah, that's not quite how it works. While many people buy clothes for fit and style, the fashion industry also strongly values a label's artistic vision and creative direction. Why would anyone patronize a label that hasn't even bothered to put out any new designs for the year? In the end, fashion is just a representation of the spirit of the times. People support your brand because they support the vision it represents.
Huh. Okay, so maybe fashion's more complicated than Paimon thought. All that complicated stuff aside, you're saying we'll be able to see new Chiori designs at the show?
Absolutely. The designs have already been finalized. I'm just waiting for the fabrics to arrive.
Ooh, are you using materials you can't get in Fontaine?
Well, I still have a certain partiality to Inazuma-made fabrics. The textures are pleasant to the touch, and their familiarity gives me a sense of security.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's that feeling of home.
Ugh, something like that. Yes.
We're a long way from Inazuma, though. Aren't you concerned that your shipment might get lost or stolen along the way?
No need to worry. I've already taken steps to ensure that it'll arrive safely. I've entrusted the job to Omni
Kirara.
Express's most reliable courier.
Excuse me. Coming through. Coming through. Chiori, your shipment's here. I know it's quite late, so I'm really sorry.
Deep breaths, Kirara, then start again.
Oh, so Kirara's the courier you were talking about.
Oh, hey, Traveler and Paimon. Fancy seeing you here in Fontaine. It's been a while.
How about again? Yeah. Yeah, that's not happening.
Maybe next time. Considering how late this delivery is, I'm not sure this is the time to play cards. Plus, I know this shipment is really important to Chiori, so I should probably make sure everything's in order. Wait a second. This is the second time that you've seen me flub a delivery job now, isn't it? Oh, you somehow always happen to catch me off my game, huh?
So, what was the holdup? Sailing delays, bad weather?
Huh? No, nothing like that. I just ran into a bit of trouble, that's all.
Bandits, then? Or treasure hoarders? A few run-ins on the road aren't usually enough to give you any trouble.
Well, I didn't run into anyone exactly.
Keeping you honest as always, I see.
All right. I was stopped by a group of bandits as soon as I entered Fontaine. They were a little different from the ones I usually run into. I could hear them mumbling about Komunia Express. It was obvious they were looking for someone with two tails.
So it was a targeted hit?
I got the sense that they were actually targeting Chiori's goods.
My fabric shipment?
Yeah, they said that I could go as long as I left the goods with them. Otherwise, they'd stuff me into my delivery box and toss me into the sea to drown.
Oh, are you okay, Kirara?
Oh, I'm good. I'm still a yokai after all. I turned them over to the guards.
It just took me a while to round them all up.
Well, it's not completely out of the ordinary for one of your deliveries to get intercepted. But it still doesn't make sense how you knew it was my goods they were after. You've got other deliveries to make in Fontaine, don't you? Is there something else that you're keeping from me?
Huh? Well...
Perhaps I need to reconsider how many stars to give you in my review.
You always know how to get me, Chiori. Alright, I'll talk. So, I kinda wanted to know why anyone would order a hit on me, so I spent a bit of time investigating. One of the bandits had a loose tongue, which saved me some time. He said that a certain person had commissioned them to intercept Chiori Boutique's delivery.
And who might this person be?
Chiori, why don't we just let this one go? I mean, I didn't really get injured, and you've still got Fashion Week to worry
Competitor.
I appreciate your kindness, Kirara, but if I don't teach this person a lesson, I doubt they'll stop here. Anyone that dares to mess with one of my friends deserves a stern talking to and then some.
Alright. The guy said that the commissioner was someone by the name of Uter.
Uter. No, that name rings a bell. Wouldn't you say, Kirara?
Well, that's exactly why I didn't want to bring it up to you.
So you both know this Uter guy?
Through Chiori's complaints about him, sure. He's a fellow fashion designer who's made it his goal in life to make hers as miserable as possible.
Oh, so he's like a business rival.
A rival is what you call someone who fights you fair and square. Uter, however, just has it out for me as a designer. He's publicly disparaged my design choices, my use of materials. He's practically tried every trick in the book to ruin my good name. I've already warned him before to compete with me fair and square, but I guess he prefers playing dirty. Well, I'm more than happy to oblige.
Man, if I was...
Chiori,
Is this just
where
me?
are you going?
To teach someone a lesson.
I would stop Chiori and I'd be like, look, if this guy's not gonna play fair and square, I'd be like, do you have any evidence, physical evidence that he's done something,
She's gone.
Oh no.
to you,
What should we do?
in your business, right? And I'd just be like, all right, give me that evidence. I'm going straight to Neverlet. I got the connections to see this guy fucked up.
I'm just worried whatever she's about to do will feel negative.
And then,
right before the start of Fashion
And then
Week.
if something happens and he gets sent to the prison, I just go visit my good buddy Risley and say, you know, that guy's been upsetting a friend of mine for years. Just saying, a blind eye every now and then doesn't hurt.
Yeah, we'll take good care of Chiori.
I want a moment like that where you help someone out
I'm more worried about that Uter.
just through your connections. Like, that'd be a really cool, like, event. Where it's like, there's this sick kid who has, like, a bucket list. Before, like, it's terminal. And before they die, they want these things. And you assist them. And one of them was to meet the traveler. They meet you, and you agree to help them with their list. And some of them are just a long list of things, right? And a lot of them is, like, an autograph of an Archon, right? And so it either takes you to Nahida or Raiden, as those are the only two publicly known Archons. Farina's not technically an Archon anymore, and Venti and Zhongli are not public Archons, right? Right, but like stuff like that, like it'd be really cool to just kind of you use your connections to easily complete this person's bucket list before they pass away. And then what they could just do is at the end, instead of making it a sad one where he passes away, just make it like a cure was found last minute. Or maybe upon doing the last bucket list step,
Any chance you're on the clock, officer?
you
Nothing
bump into
really ever
Baiju, who
comes out of
says,
you addressing me like
he
that.
actually just found a treatment for this
Be the
exact
traveler in
disease
Paimon
by
heard that
luck.
too.
We are sent to make sure that you don't go to prison.
We meet again.
Well, things have been fine on my end. We were able to bring in a large number of recruits thanks to that film we made. I suppose the trade-off is that I'm now constantly getting stopped for autographs while out on patrol. Not ideal, if you ask me.
Well, you were one of the leading roles after all.
So, did something happen?
Indeed it did. I'll need you to come with me.
I only ever hear that phrase from you. Usually I'm the one asking people to do that.
Well, are you coming?
Not before I know what you're planning.
Have I ever made a bad call?
The better question is, have you ever made one that didn't violate proper procedure?
Okay. A man hired a group of bandits to mug my friend. I'm about to go teach him a lesson.
Are you sure this is something you should be telling the captain of the special patrol? It's getting hard to tell whether you're here to report a case or turn yourself in for one.
Neither. I'm requesting personal supervision from said captain, so I don't do anything to
Just like Paimon and,
Are you
and Ether, are just like,
planning
what
I
the?
can't help it.
All right. Where is this person?
Follow me.
Just promise you'll start trying to keep yourself out of trouble.
Well, when trouble stops coming my way, I'll be sure to get on that. This should be the place. You all wait here. I'll go have a chat with him.
You know, Chevraz, Paimon gets the sense that you two are actually pretty close.
It's just as Chiori said. We got to know each other pretty well in our lines of work. You could call it a you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours sort of situation.
Does Chiori often need your help?
I'd say it's mutual. The Special Patrol needs her help quite often as well. We've got tough problems of our own. Getting people to talk, for example. The uniform, the musket, they're intimidating. Most people clam up the minute they see us. Lips sealed so tight, getting them to talk almost feels like trying to break into the fortress of Meripede. But put them in a clothing boutique, and they suddenly start gushing faster than the waters at the Fountain of Lucine.
Oh, is it because they're trying to show off or something?
Yep. People are vain creatures. They can't help but want to talk up new developments in their lives or show off how much they know about other people. And nothing brings out that sort of vanity quite like fashion. As a result, Chiori often picks up on all kinds of information in her shop. Most of her customers are members of the upper class, which means they're pretty much up to the gills in wealth and intel.
You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. Huh,
Mm.
Paimon gets it now?
Exactly. I'm also here to ensure Chiori's safety. Those who make trouble for her also tend to be rich and powerful. And in some very rare cases, I'm forced to protect other people from Chiori herself. So, who got on her case this time? It's been a while since I last saw her that angry.
Oh, so this is what happened.
Huh? Uter, you say?
You've heard of him?
Yep. He's made trouble for Chiori several times already. He's fond of pretty much every dirty trick in the book. I heard that even the Maison Gardiennage issued him a warning due to his behavior. So he's back at it, huh? His funeral, I guess.
Whoa, what's this about a funeral all of a sudden?
I just meant that Uter's done for. Now bring it in, you two. Get right up close.
Sure, but why?
Because this is probably going to turn into one of those very rare cases I just talked about.
What are you doing? Stay away from me!
Has anyone ever taught you the definition of stupidity?
Huh?
Stupidity is doing the same
That's
meaningless
insanity,
thing
but
over
yes.
and over again. It appears you've forgotten what I told you before.
Oh no.
So,
Oh, she didn't finish it.
allow me
Insanity
to
is doing the
refresh
same
your
thing over
memory.
and over again,
Lay
expecting
off
different results.
The dirty tricks. Oh, and if you dare lay your hands on my friend again, you can expect a far less pleasant landing next time.
Chiori?
Officer, an assault's in progress! Please, officer, you've got to do something!
Of course. I'll do my utmost to investigate the situation. Unfortunately, I was chatting with this traveler and seemed to have missed what happened. Not to worry, though. If you'd allow me to search the scene, I'm sure I'll be able to collect some useful evidence. You don't mind, do you? There's nothing in there that would implicate you in any illegal activity, I would hope.
Forget it. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Ms. Chiori, I must also ask you to refrain from engaging in such disorderly conduct in the future, especially out in the open like this.
Apologies, officer. I guess you could say I'm just used to tossing out any trash I come across on the street.
You...
Is there anything else either of you have to say for yourselves?
That's all from me. I sincerely hope that today's events will never happen again.
We'll see about that.
Whoa, that scared the heck out of Paimon! How did he just go flying out like that?
It's incredible strength, such a great, graceful
You're too
arc.
kind.
Now's not the time to be accepting compliments. What happened to not doing anything too out of line?
Oh, not if I could help it, is what I said. And I think I kept to that. I started with a verbal warning, but he displayed neither shame nor remorse. If anything, he kept running his mouth with insults and threats.
Insults and threats so bad that he deserved to be tossed out like a sack of trash?
Believe it or not, they were that bad. He deserved to get knocked down a peg. It's the only way to get him to stop.
You could have reported him to the guards.
Oh, I will. But it'll take some time for them to gather evidence. And he denied that he ever had anything to do with those bandits. I don't want anything else to happen during Fontaine Fashion Week. On top of that, if Kirara is going to continue delivering goods for me, the least I can do is guarantee her safety. Oh, that reminds me. There is another favor I'd like to ask of you today.
What a shame. I believe you've already used up your favor quota for the day.
Have I? Well, it's a good thing I was planning on taking an advance on tomorrow's quota then.
Don't you think you're maxed out on advances already?
I always pay you back in information, don't I? It's just like you said. You scratch my back, and I scratch yours.
All right. Back to the booth.
We're back.
Or boutique, I should say.
You were gone for an awfully long time. Oh, please tell me nothing bad happened.
There's nothing to worry about. All you need to know is that you'll never have to worry about someone in Fontaine messing with your deliveries again.
Sorry, Chiori. I didn't mean to cause you so much trouble.
What are you talking about? You didn't do anything wrong. Those greedy bandits are to blame, along with a certain someone who doesn't know when to lay off the petty tricks. The next time you need to leave the city, call the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. They'll escort you half of the way, and the Spina di Rusula can take the second half. With that sort of escort, the next time you make a delivery, those treasure hoarders won't go anywhere near your goods. Unless, of course, it's to offer to carry them for you.
Good one, Chiori.
I'm being serious. You know me. If I bring something up, you can assume it's already a done deal. You're going back to Inazuma tomorrow, right?
Wait, you don't mean...
I've already spoken to the captain of the Special Patrol. As discussed, the patrol's going to take a small detour during their daily training tomorrow. As for Navia, I'll give her a heads up in a bit.
There's really no need. I'm just a simple courier. I don't need to be surrounded by a bunch of armed guards. Or ones with sunglasses, for that matter. Do you think this is a bit much?
Well, you certainly shouldn't count on such a procession for every trip you make to Fontaine. It's just a one-off thing, for my own peace of mind. It'll also show those guys what'll happen to those who dare to mess with my friends.
Since she's already talked to the patrol.
If you think it's a good idea, Traveler, then I guess it's fine.
Well, with the bad guys out of the way and your goods safely delivered, everything should be good to go for Fontaine Fashion Week, right?
I believe so. I'll try to churn out a few more outfits over the next few days. I've heard a lot of suppliers will be participating this year.
Paimon's gonna take a guess and say suppliers are super important.
But of course, they supply us designers with funding, equipment, factory access. You have to work with them if you want to become a truly renowned fashion house. That's also why this year's Fashion Week is so important to me.
But isn't your brand already really famous, Chiori? Your clothes are so pretty and so nice to wear. I can't help but brag about them to my customers whenever I get the chance.
Even so, I would imagine there are still people who've never heard of the Chiori brand, yes?
Well... I mean, with the amount of places that I deliver to, it's only natural that some people from other nations haven't heard of it.
Then it's still not famous enough. My goal is to make the Chiori brand renowned throughout all of Teyvat.
All of it? Your business would have to get pretty huge then.
Wait, would that mean I could just go to any Chiori branch on the continent to get my clothes fixed? It has been pretty inconvenient having to come to Fontaine every time I need to get them patched up.
Alternatively, of course, you could just be a bit more careful with them. They're already about as durable as I can make them.
Okay, I'll admit, they do get snagged on branches pretty often, but I can't help it. It's hard to be careful about that sort of thing when you're trying to take a nice nap in a tree.
Well, if that's your dream, Chiori, then we should do our best to make it a reality. Is there anything we can do to help out with Fashion Week?
I'm sure I could think of something.
Ooh, what is it? What is it?
Why don't you come to my shop tomorrow and model for me? Simply put, you'll serve as my living mannequins.
Oh, so we get to try on some of your clothes? Got it!
Seeing them off the rack will also give me the chance to make some small adjustments to the stitching and the silhouette of the designs.
Sounds easy enough.
You need us on the runway too? Can we keep the outfits?
Most of the clothes you see during Fashion Week are meant to showcase the designer's vision. They're not exactly suitable for ready-to-wear use. If you like them, though, feel free to visit the boutique and see if anything catches your eye. I'll even give you a special discount.
Ooh, sounds great! Paimon was just starting to get curious about all this design stuff.
Then we have a deal. You'll model some formal wear, Traveler, and I don't know. Paimon here will show off some kids' designs. I'll see you both tomorrow then.
Yep, sounds good. Kids' clothes? Paimon told you already, she's not a little kid!
My husband promised to get me a replica of the most eye-catching outfit from the show.
Speaking of clothes, Do yours happen to need any mending right now, Kirara?
Well, since you asked, Chiori, there's this part around my waist.
Oh, need a bit of letting out around the middle.
No! It's a tear. Those bad guys did it.
Fashion Week is coming up. My husband promised to get me a replica of the most eye-catching outfit from the show.
We shall wait. I feel like this is going to be one of those ones where, sure, you're learning about her, but there isn't really going to be much of a problem.
Chiori, we're here!
You're here early. I haven't even opened the shop yet.
Well, that was a bad sneeze. I'm actually happy.
Wait, has Kirara left already?
Yep, with the special patrol.
All
Bright
the
and early.
weakest problems I've been
Did
having
everything go
lately.
alright on the road?
I believe so. The patrol makes for quite the entourage. The way they marched forward with Kirara in the center, you'd think she was some sort of VIP. For the second leg, the Spina also came with a pretty large group, led by Navia herself. They took care to clear the path beforehand as well. Kirara won't so much as step on a single stray rock on her journey. I even heard that Navia decided out of the blue to make a batch of macarons as a going-away gift for Kirara. An excellent souvenir to remember Fontaine by, I'd say.
Sounds like Navia really got into it.
My thoughts exactly. She even lamented the fact that she didn't have time to prepare something even fancier. I'm pretty sure she can't wait for another escort opportunity to come her way.
You know, now that you mention Navia, Paimon thinks the two of you are actually pretty similar. You say what you mean, and when you have an idea, you really hit the ground running.
I suppose that's why we're such good friends. Navia has a certain resilience about her. It's part of who she is. No matter
Only
what
two
comes
Geo
her way,
characters get
she
along?
never bows down in the face of adversity. That sort of determination and courage is something I really admire. That same spirit is the true vision of my brand.
I
When she
personally
first
feel like
mentioned commissioning an
there's one
outfit
thing
for my
about Geo
boutique,
that you could probably tell is
I'm sure you can imagine my excitement.
if you put every
It's like
Geo
finding
character in a
the
room,
perfect
they'd be
brand
excellent
ambassador,
friends.
huh?
Indeed.
I think more than any
Customers
other
pay
element
attention
user
not
in the
just to
game.
clothes, but also
Like if
to
you
the
paired all
people
the
in
element
society who
users
wear
to
said
game
clothes.
together,
People like to copy the styles of those they look up to.
I think Geo would get along the
I
best.
hear Paimon thought all that mattered was for the clothes to look
And
cute.
personally,
Fashion
just my
is about
opinion,
more
I
than
think
just looks,
Electro
my
and
dear.
Dendro would get along the
Especially if you've
hardest.
got your sights set on a market the size of that.
Because
Well,
Electro is about
Would you
eternity,
look at the time?
and what makes people think about eternity is going to be very different person to person.
Indeed. Give me a moment while I go retrieve some fabrics and sample outfits. Why don't you
But
help me set
and
up
then
shelf
Dendro,
displays
it
in the
all comes down to
meantime?
wisdom and intelligence, and that comes in many shapes and forms.
Exactly.
Just carefully organize the ready-to-wear clothes with an eye toward their types and styles. This
Okay.
way, we
You can have people
guarantee
like
customers will see something different
So,
every day.
Whoa, there's sure is a
Nahida,
lot
who
that
are
goes
very
into running a
open-minded
store.
and thoughtful.
Well then, I'll leave the displays to you.
One second.
So,
Get some
we just
vapor
gotta
rub on
put
my
all the
nose.
clothes with similar styles together, right?
Or you can or you have people like Al Haitham, who are just like
Where's my key? Not again.
Please organize the clothes with an eye towards their types and styles. Not bad. You might just have an eye for design. Anyway, let's move on
Nope.
to the
I
real
am
Thanksgiving
what's on the
meal.
top of the drawer
Over here,
type
stand
person.
still. I'll take your measurements
If I even
first.
put my clothes away.
Excuse me, Miss Chiori.
Oh, good morning, Leanne. How have you been recently?
Not too bad.
Your gown will be ready next week, so there's no need to worry about missing the ball. Or did you come here today because you'd like to make a new request, perhaps?
Oh, no, nothing like that, Miss Chiori. To be honest, I came here today to cancel my order for that gown.
Cancel your order.
But you can keep the deposit, of course. I know you can't return any materials you've already used.
Don't worry about the materials. I'm more concerned about you. Did something happen, Leanne? Have your plans changed? It's alright. I'm not trying to make things difficult for you. I'll take note of the cancellation.
Thank you. I'm really sorry.
Don't worry about it. Just let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
More underhanded tricks.
Is it just Paimon, or was she acting a bit strange just now? Wonder why she wouldn't tell us.
It's
Being
not a big
threatened or
deal.
blackmailed.
These things happen every once in a while. A family emergency, an important payday falling through, a lover's quarrel, no one to take you to the ball. I've pretty much heard it all. Judging from the look on her face, something's keeping her from revealing the truth to us. It's best not to pry.
Well, guess this means you'll have more time to work on Fashion Week, right?
That's true. Come, let's pick up where we left off.
Is Miss Chiori in?
I am. How can I help you?
I'd like to return this item.
Oh, could I ask why?
It's just, not to my liking. You said I could get a refund if I wasn't satisfied.
Is there something about it that didn't meet your expectations? Are the sleeves too short, or is the color too dark? I can always make those adjustments for you.
No need. You don't have to concern yourself with that. I'd just like that refund, please.
And I'd be happy to process that for you. If you could just tell me the cause of your dissatisfaction.
Is Chiori here? I'd like to return my...
Another one?
Is there some sort of new calamity coming that I haven't heard about? Another flood? Or an apocalypse, maybe? What does the prophecy say this time? You'll be spared if you get rid of all your clothes? Surely the entire population of Fontaine didn't convene and pick this one day to come and return my clothes. What is going on?
What kind of rags are you trying to sell us, huh? The way I see it, this shop is nothing more than a black market... Please, calm down, sir.
What is he talking about?
Haven't you heard? Chiori, a boutique, has been exposed for having close ties with criminals.
And just who is it that dares to throw that accusation around?
Well, you tell us. The fabrics you've got here, they're all sourced from underground factories.
I've been transparent about my materials from the very beginning. I've already proved there's nothing wrong with them. If a little hearsay and baseless slander are enough to convince you, then by all means, go ahead and hand over your garments right now. Spare yourself from that flood of yours. Or have you not been convinced of that one just yet?
You...
Elof!
Miss Chiori?
Go outside and help these customers with their return requests. There's no need to ask them why. We'll
Alright.
And once you're done, put up the sign that says we're closed for the day.
Got it.
Chiori.
They couldn't be more fabricated if you tried. No need to worry about them. I'm sure they'll go away on their own in a few days. The real goal here is to divert my attention away from Fashion Week. The best response right now is to tune it out and focus on finalizing my designs.
If you say so, but Paimon still can't help but work.
The best way to respond to public skepticism is to let your work speak for itself. There will be no doubt about the quality of my work once my new designs are released. The public just has to see it for themselves.
Miss Chiori, bad news!
Oh, for the love of... Can a woman not get a moment of peace to do her work? Go on. What's the matter now?
It's our accessories supplier. They just sent word that they'll no longer be able to supply us during Fashion Week.
What? No accessories? Not even the ones we pre-ordered?
Yes, that's what their messenger said.
And what about the models we asked them to book for us?
I think they'll probably pull out as well.
Even the suppliers believe those nasty...
Is the messenger still here?
No, they've already left.
So, no accessories means no...
Not just that. It means no gems, ribbons, gold thread, all the elements that lend life and soul to my...
But if you take those away...
Alaf, you stay and watch the shop. I'll go talk to the supplier myself.
We'll go with you.
Yeah, we can
Damn.
vacuum too. We'll make sure...
Obviously, we already know who's doing this. Like, it was set up quite clearly.
In that case, please come with me.
By the way, we really are just going to talk, right?
Of course. I wouldn't do anything to one of my business partners, especially when a reasonable conversation should suffice.
Who is it?
Venger, it's Chiori. We've worked together all these years. The least you could do is allow me a face-to-face conversation.
Straightforward as always, I see. You know, there are certain conventions people usually follow if they want to seek someone's company. Sending a messenger, for example.
And when has following convention ever gotten me anywhere? Why hire a messenger when I can just explain things in person?
Have you read the papers today?
I don't like to waste my time on baseless lies and speculation. Maybe that's something you should consider as well.
You're right. I only subscribe to the Steambird. And most days, I never even read the others.
So, these rumors. The Steambird was the one that published them?
No, not at all. They were in some second-rate fashion tabloids.
Well then, there you go. Those sort of headlines become old news faster than you can read them. Surely a bit of tabloid drama isn't worth cutting off my supply.
You would think that. But this time is different. Someone paid off the tabloids to publish the same article at once. They even went so far as to leave a copy in front of every house.
Every house? That means someone must have been planning this for a very long time.
It seems your rival really pulled out all the stops this time, Chiori. The article was even published alongside a photo of you.
What sort of photo?
A photo of you beating up someone on the street yesterday.
Yesterday?
Uter again.
Here, I've got a copy. See for yourselves.
Behind the scenes, the true Chiori boutique takes shape. Not a fashion house, Relying on its close ties to the criminal underworld, the Chiori brand employs illegal competitive tactics to come out on top, giving hope to the evildoers.
I don't know what happened, and I don't want to comment on things that I didn't see with my own eyes. Still, that photo shows you to be...
Yeah, he was the one who started it, that little...
I appreciate you standing up for me, Paimon. But it can't be helped now.
That's right. The court of public opinion has already made up its mind. Still, I've got to give your rival high marks for effort. They even dug up the fact that my father once served time in the fortress of Meripede.
But that was so long ago.
In the world of fashion, your past is like a piece of clothing stained with mud. Once tainted, it can never be washed clean. They claim that most of your clientele are criminals and that those who buy your clothes are just like you.
The absurdity. I don't even know which part to laugh at the most.
Well, it's no laughing matter. Maybe your clientele are criminals. Maybe they're not. There's even the possibility that they're just people who happen to commit crimes after buying your clothes. But with the way this article combines fact with rumor, trying to determine the truth is practically an exercise of futility. It's not something people are just going to forget about in a day or two, especially when they've found several people to back up their claims.
Venger, are you sure you won't reconsider? If we go through with the show together, we can defeat them fair and square.
But I'm no longer that brave young man with nothing to lose. I'd be perfectly happy to work with you again after this, but my daughter is manning the store during Fashion Week, and I don't want her implicated in all of this. She doesn't deserve to be... Let me offer you a piece of advice, Chiori. For old time's sake. Let this Fashion Week go. There's always next year. You just need to wait for all of this to blow over.
You're free to wait things out, Venger. I'll make my own choices.
Have you ever thought maybe that attitude of yours is what's gotten you into all this trouble?
Have you ever thought maybe this attitude of mine is precisely what paved the way for my success?
Well, fair enough. Then, I suppose all there's left to say is... best of luck. As for the models... none of them wanted to be implicated in all of this either.
Understood. Take care.
So,
Without the accessories, I can no longer use my old designs.
how could they do this? They're making things up. The boutique doesn't have anything to do with violent criminals. Can't people tell this is just a...
Public opinion has never been about what's true and what's not. It's about echoing the loudest voice in the room. I should have seen it from the beginning. Uter knows me too well. Everything that happened yesterday was just a trap.
Well, guess all we can do is just head back for now.
Traveler,
Charlotte, what are you doing here?
looking for you, of course. Did you see those fashion tabloids this morning?
You mean that sorry excuse for an article? Oh, just think...
You too, huh? Whoever wrote that article must have known the Steambird would never print something so defamatory. Unfortunately, not all papers in Fontaine share our same sense of journalistic integrity. Miss Chiori doesn't deserve to suffer all this baseless slander. I was just about to find some people to interview so that I can write an article to refute all those claims. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's people who misrepresent and distort the facts.
That's great! With your help, we...
It's my pleasure. I've met Miss Chiori several times. I know she's not the kind of person that article makes her out to be. She was the one who made the hat and tie for my camera, Monsieur Verite. Speaking of Miss Chiori, do you know where she went? Alof told me you were all together.
She was just here.
If you ask me, I think Chiori Boutique is done for.
I mean, what did they expect? Engaging with criminals behind their customers' back.
They kept up a solid front, though. I've even bought from them before.
Really? How was it?
The owner was plenty fierce, that's for sure. Makes sense if she regularly deals with criminals, I guess. I've got the chills just thinking about it.
All right.
Oh no, we've lost her. Did you hear what all those people were saying? Paimon can't believe they bought all that nonsense.
Miss Chiori doesn't often appear in public or give a lot of interviews, so the general public hasn't had a chance to really get to know her. It's also true that her way of dealing with things can be a little extreme sometimes. It's easy to use that to mislead people who don't know anything else about her.
Oh, this is all Utear's fault. Paimon would pick him up and throw him across the room too if she could. Wait a second. You don't think Chiori might have gone looking for him, do you? You know, so she can, finish what she started?
That would only make the situation worse for her. I'm sure Miss Chiori knows that too.
You've got a point. Let's just return to the boutique and see if she's there then.
Am I actually traveling there?
We're back! Oh, who's this?
Ah, this is Miss Letitia. She's also here to see Miss Chiori.
Oh, you were the one who came to collect the wedding dress yesterday, right?
Oh, no, not at all. I'm just here to thank her. In fact, if there's anything I can do to help her out, I'd be more than willing.
Ah, so you've come across that article as well.
Yeah, you probably don't know this, but after I got engaged, I didn't think I'd be able to wear a Chiori dress on my wedding day.
Why?
My fiancé owns a small business. It doesn't bring in a lot of mora, but we get by. After he proposed, he took me to Chiori Boutique, and we put down a custom order for a dress. He probably noticed how often I talked about Miss Chiori's clothes, and how pretty they were. Being able to wear one of her dresses to my wedding has always been my dream.
And then?
And then, something happened to the business, and we ran into major mora problems. We were able to scrounge up enough to pay off our debts, but it left us without the funds to pay for the dress.
But didn't Chiori say she was able to make the dress from what was left of the original deposit?
Yes. When I came to cancel the order, she asked if something happened, and I told her everything. She heard me out, and then told me not to worry. She assured me that the deposit I paid would be enough for the dress, and that she'd be able to finish making it in time as well.
That's
She promised
dedication.
that I'd be able to wear a Chiori dress on my wedding day.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? I've always known Miss Chiori to be a woman of her word.
It is good. It's just, after I went home yesterday, I couldn't help but take out the dress and try it on. My fiancé happened to walk into the room and when he saw me, he froze on the spot.
Ah, what a shame. He's not supposed to see it until the wedding day.
Well, see, that wasn't actually the issue. He's seen a lot of wedding dresses in his time doing business. So as soon as he saw it, he knew for sure that it must have cost far more than what we paid.
Huh? So wait, that means...
Yeah. Miss Chiori covered all the costs and held nothing back. The fabric, accessories, beading, construction. It was all of the highest quality.
Miss Letitia, I'd really like to use your story for a piece I'm writing about the boutique. Would you mind going on the record?
Huh? Well, if it would help Miss Chiori out, I wouldn't mind at all.
I think it'd go a long way. Your real experience is more powerful than all those lies combined.
Hey, Olaf! Has Chiori come back here since we left?
Huh? I thought you were all together.
Well, we were. If she didn't come back here, then do you know of any other places she could have gone?
Oh boy.
Oh, I remember now. There's this one cliff by the sea. Miss Chiori would always go there whenever she was upset.
In that case, why don't we split up? I'll continue interviewing Miss Letitia, and you two can go look for Miss Chiori.
Alright, sounds good. Let's go!
Okay, one sec. I just need to go to the bathroom really quick. I'll be right back.
Did you read the paper today?
Where's my key? Not again.
Did you read the paper today? Did you read the paper today? Did you read the
Where's my
paper today?
key? Not again.
Did you read the paper today?
The ability to appreciate beauty is an important virtue.
Did you read the paper today? Did you read the paper today?
My latest design's getting there, but there's still room for improvement. Better make my finishing touches before the deadline creeps up.
Did you read the paper today?
Where's my key?
Did you read the paper
Not
today?
again. The ability to appreciate beauty is an important virtue.
Did you read the paper today? Did you read the paper today?
My latest design's getting there, but there's still room for improvement. Better make my finishing touches before the deadline creeps up.
Did you read the paper today? Did you read the paper today?
So hard to pick the perfect gift.
Where's my key?
Did you
Not
read
again.
the paper today?
the ability to appreciate you.
Did you read the paper today?
Where's my key? Not again.
Did you read the paper today?
It's good to get out and stretch your legs once in a while. People aren't made to stay cooped up inside all the time.
Did you read the paper today?
I'm back. Sorry about that. Let's just say, something I ate last night has not been agreeing with me all day. I'll also say I am wearing a new pair of pants. If that explains to you the suddenness of that situation. I am not ashamed to admit it. It happens.
There you are, Chiori!
Uh-huh. How did you know where I... Alof told you, didn't she?
She did. We were just looking for you at the shop and Letitia was there. She wanted to thank you for the dress. So, you see? You don't have to be sad. We'll figure out how to get through this together.
I'm not upset. I just wanted to get some fresh air. Wanna sit here with me? The view's quite stunning.
Yeah. Doesn't look like there's a lot of space.
Sorry about that. I'm the only one here most of the time.
Alright, don't mind if we do.
Paimon's not even going to be sitting, so what does it matter?
Well, how does it feel?
This place is pretty great.
Right? It's quiet and open, and far from the relentless critique from fashion commentators and the media. It's just you and the beautiful scenery.
Yeah, it's important to take yourself out of that kind of stressful environment every once in a while.
I didn't grow up in a very strict family. My parents would joke that I grew up to be so assertive because they spoiled me as a child. I would get together with the other children to climb trees and explore caves. One time, I even climbed over the walls of the Kamisato estate. One of the servants had to physically remove me.
Whoa, Paimon would have never imagined that!
But even as rambunctious as I was, when it came to needlework, I was as quiet and focused as could be. It was as if I discovered a whole new world within those vibrant, dazzling fabrics. You know the feeling?
Sorta.
My parents noticed, and they sent me to study under a famous Inazuman tailor. It wasn't long before I had driven away pretty much every master tailor on the archipelago. You could say I really tried their patience.
You were that misbehaved?
I wasn't misbehaved, exactly. I just often had strange ideas when it came to fashion. Ones that weren't in line with traditional ways of doing things. On top of that, I hated the idea of groveling and making outfits for every arrogant big shot expecting me to be at their beck and call. Anyway, a few incidents later, I soon found myself without a master. Worse, not one shop was willing to hire me. Not even to do grunt work.
No wonder you left Inazuma.
I was angry and frustrated. So, before I left, I swore to all those masters that my brand would one day become renowned all over Teyvat.
Well, that's a great dream to strive towards.
After that, I came all the way to the court of Fontaine, a city often referred to as the capital of arts and fashion. I had a lot of fun starting out. Sure, I was living in a small cramped room, but I was finally free to make whatever I wanted. I had a far more naive view of fashion back then. As long as something was pretty, it would become popular, right? A simple concept, surely. Of course, as I spent more and more time in the industry, I learned nothing was ever that simple. Least of all,
Well, I know
fashion.
someone who absolutely adores your designs and dreamed of wearing one at her wedding.
Oh, you mean Letitia? Yeah, she did mention that dream. I'll be honest with you. That's the first time I ever heard something like that from one of my customers. Who would have thought? Even as I continue to pursue my dream, my work has also become someone else's. Alright, that's enough sightseeing for one day. Time to come up with a way out of this mess.
Ooh, looks like you've got your game face back.
Back? It was never gone to begin with. I did say I wasn't upset, didn't I?
Paimon thinks
I should
we
emphasize
look for
too, I didn't
evidence
say
that
this when I
Pierre
was
wrote that
trying out
article, and that he hired those treasure hoarders to attack Kirara.
Chiori, but
Charlotte's already working on an article to address
Chiori's
all
not a
those
bad
nasty
playable
rumors
character. I
so
want to
we can
emphasize
publish
that.
all
She
our
just
findings
doesn't
in the
stand
Steamboat
out,
once we're done.
sadly.
Like duking it out in the press. But if Charlotte's thrown her hat in the ring, I won't stop her either. I know where Uter's clothing factory is located. It might be a good place to start looking for some
Oh,
evidence.
there's our domain.
Sounds good. We'll come with. As for Fashion Week, well, there's always next year, right? So there's no need to be too upset.
Huh? When did this become an either-or situation? Find incriminating evidence or participate in Fashion Week. I'm doing both.
But your accessories. Didn't you say your designs were unusable without them?
Just making
Well,
designs.
it's true that I haven't quite figured out what to do about that, but to tell you the truth, even here in Fontaine, every time I see the sea, I can't help but remember Inazuma and the vow I made in front of those masters. Thinking about all that, I just can't bear to take even one step back. The sea.
What?
The sea. Seashell.
Got...
Come.
Chiori! Wait, hold up!
Will I be able to grab it? Can I grab it? Yes. Let's go.
Sight clear.
Chiori, why did you just jump into the sea all of a sudden?
Paimon, what do you think is the most beautiful thing in the sea?
A Lumitoile? Or a pearl, maybe? Oh, coral's pretty too. Oh, Paimon gets it now! You want to use things like that as the accessories for your designs!
Well, now that you hit the nail on the head, help me grab some, would you?
There we go.
These should be enough, right? Paimon picked all the prettiest ones in this area. Chiori, will these do?
Everything looks great. I've also collected a pretty big batch, so we should have enough.
Great! So are we gonna head back now and make some new designs?
Yes, but don't forget, we've got more than just the designs to worry about when we get back. Okay, we've got the materials for the accessories. Next, we'll need to use what we have on hand to create some new outfits.
You mean we have to start from scratch? Will there be enough time?
I should be able to make it, if I skip out on sleep.
Oh no, skipping out on sleep is not
Pretty similar to the one we had with
conversation is giving Paimon major deja vu.
Sounds pretty similar to the one we had with Guan Yu before.
Who's that?
A friend of ours who does way too much overtime. Well, anyway, sleep is important. You're not gonna convince Paimon otherwise.
Well, I can't argue with you there.
A 2,000-year-old adepti that does office work 24/7.
Determination. It reminds me of the first fashion week I ever participated in.
What else can we help with?
Let me see.
We getting
I
that
suppose
evidence?
all there's left to do is tear up all the outfits currently on display.
You got it.
You heard me. Tear them all up. When I went to that first fashion week, I had no savings to speak of. Just a few dozen yards of fabric and a dream. I had to make something work, so I tore up all the clothes that I brought with me from Inazuma, and I used the scraps to make my entries for the show. If it worked back then, why not now?
But you worked so...
I know. That's why I refuse to let it all go to waste. No need to be nervous. I won't hold it against. Of course. If anyone dared to tear up one of my dresses in front of me on a normal day...
Probably toss them into a sewer.
Just this once, though. I think I can make an exception. Go ahead and tear them up. Think of it as a good way to vent your
Man,
emotions.
you tear them up and they neatly roll back into fabric rolls. Man, this is good fabric.
Good job. That should do it.
Chiori, are you alright? Sorry for taking so long. I got caught up and... Whoa. What happened to your shop? Who did this? Those monsters. Slandering you in the papers wasn't enough for them, was it? They even sent people to wreck your shop. Give me their names. Since they're all too eager to tear up other people's clothes, I think it's about time the Spina di Rosula return the favor.
Maybe you should calm down a bit first, cause you see...
I was the one who did it. Boss, please go easy on us.
What is this, a soap opera? I was the one who asked the traveler to tear up the outfits. We need all the fabric and accessories we can get.
Oh, so that's what happened. I guess I got a bit ahead of myself just now. Back to what you were doing, everyone. You can all just pretend like I didn't say anything.
Navia sure is scary when she's angry.
If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a false accusation. No
That's
one's gonna orchestrate
considering that's
some
what
big
happened to her
spear so
dad.
take down one of my
Absolutely.
friends and get away with it.
You and Chiori are really close.
Of course. Everyone knows that Chiori makes the most gorgeous outfits in town. All of the Spina di Rosula's formal wear is custom tailored here.
Now, if only you'd give me the contract for your uniforms as well.
As if you'd enjoy designing something as boring and formulaic as a uniform. That's why I didn't ask you in the first place, silly. Plus, with how much your intel has helped us out in the past, to the Spina, you're more of an intelligence agency than a fashion boutique.
If I had it my way, it would be the other way around.
Anyway, we both know why I'm here. Tell me, how can the Spina be of service to you?
If it's not too much trouble, can I borrow some skilled hands to help with some simple sewing work? I'll need all the help I can get if I'm going to finish these outfits over the next few days.
Oh, no problem. I've got a few of those guys all ready to go. I just knew you wouldn't be intimidated into withdrawing from this year's show. When are you going to get started? I can help with sewing too.
Actually, there's something else I'd like to ask of you.
Ask away. I'm all ears.
Oh, and Traveler and Paimon, could you help me pass word to Linny and Lynette? I'll need their help as well.
I'm done with my interview. Has Miss Chiori made it back yet? Oh! What happened to the boutique? Who did this? Give me names. How I'll make sure everyone on the front page of the Steambird tomorrow.
It's gonna happen constantly.
Not this again.
What should we do about these clothes everywhere? Need any help?
Sort them by the type of fabric first, and then by color. Oh, and don't forget to remove any accessories and put them to the side.
That sounds pretty straightforward. I'll help too.
I wanna. So I'm adding in a new interaction. I want to see Chiori meet Kave. I think artistically they would get along very well. And personality-wise, I think Chiori would be in a way a good mentor for Kave, where, you know, like, cause, and Alhaitham said it before that he's as kind-hearted as he is, like, he's just too much of a pushover, pretty much.
Winnie, Lynette, great, you're both here.
I also like to see Kave meet Bennett. There's someone with worse luck than me?
The article in the papers. We were just about to go find Miss Chiori. She helped design a number of our costumes in the past and even sponsored one of our performances. The time has come, it seems, for us to return the favor.
Oh, perfect. She's the one who said
Remember how I said earlier I want one of those moments where all the connections come together? It's that, but not involving us. It's just all of Chiori's connections.
Okay, so it's like this.
Is that all we'll need to do?
Should be a piece of cake for the two of us.
Paimon's glad to hear it.
Are they going to be the models?
Well then, guess it's about time we go and find some evidence for all the bad stuff Uterra's been doing, right? Chiori said we shouldn't disturb her over the next couple of days. We can check in with her again once she's done with all—
But the show's in another 2 days, isn't it?
Well, according to her, she wants to first beat Uter fair and square at the show, and then defeat him in the court of public opinion. She said that it—
A two-pronged approach?
Courtesy first, confrontation second?
Yeah, something like that.
Understood. Then we'll have faith in her decision. We'll
This is
go
going to
make
be
some
one of those
preparations.
few
See you at the venue in 2
character
days.
stories that doesn't allow you to play the character in the character story.
Okay, then let's also do as Chiori said, and meet up with
Oh,
her
no,
at
never mind.
Uter's factory in 2 days. Oh, Paimon sure hopes she won't have—
Alright, let's go. Finally time to fight in a story mission.
Oh, you're here.
Chiori! How are the new outfits coming along? You look kinda tired.
Just a few steps left now. I've handed the rest over to Alof. We should be able to make tonight's show.
Wow, that's cutting it real close. Are you sure she'll be okay without you?
Don't worry. I have no intention of giving ground on either front. With the fashion show scheduled for tonight, Uter has closed his factory. This is our only chance to secure any incriminating evidence.
Okay, Paimon totally gets that this is all his fault and he totally deserves it, but wouldn't we technically—
His factory is usually open to the public. It may not be open for business right now, but that doesn't mean visitors can't stop by for a tour. We're just curious customers after all, aren't we?
Well, when you put it that way—
Anyway, Uter's factory is right over there. Let's hurry up and get moving.
Why would he open a factory over there?
We have different marketing strategies. While I specialize in high-end custom garments, he prefers low prices and large sales volumes. I don't know. Maybe the rent here is cheap.
Alright.
So they're tackling two completely different markets. Why the hell would he even care what she does?
You make a good point. Let's all be on our guard.
This is like comparing Gucci to Walmart. Like, literally two entirely different markets. Walmart's quantity over quality and Gucci's quality over quantity. Alright, I gotta give this team a shot in here.
We're in. There really is nobody here.
Welcome, dear visitors.
Oh, Paimon nearly fell out of the air. What is that thing?
A mechanical guide. They usually use a recorded tape to give you a tour of the factory.
Please, follow me, dear guests. First stop on our tour is a look at the gradual evolution of our clothing brand. After that, we welcome you to peruse our most popular styles.
Huh. Uter seems to be doing pretty well for himself, doesn't he? Why would he feel the need to bother you when he could just focus on improving his own brand?
This is the studio where our designs...
With their signs, nothing strange about them. Arrive at the city in the morning via...
These are the fitting rooms. Please use them at your leisure.
Huh? There seems to be something in this fitting room. Why did the door just close?
Hold on
It's an
tight,
elevator.
Paimon.
Why is it moving?
It seems to have stopped.
Where did this thing take us?
Seems like it was someplace deeper inside the factory.
Look out! There are guards here!
Watch and learn! Come at me!
Oosh. Yeah, this is not working out very well.
Sight clear!
I feel like I could replace Kave with almost anyone and this team would be better. Like, Dory's not the problem with this team. Neither is Yao Yao, neither is Farina. Oh, fuck you. Oh, I actually triggered the cutscene? Really?
This place is filthy! Are the clothes from Uter's shop seriously made here?
Look over there.
Ugh! That water looks super nasty! Oh, Paimon can smell the stench from all the way over here!
And I was the one using unsafe materials, Uter?
So he was actually the one who opened an underground factory.
No wonder his clothes always felt weird to the touch.
He's been using all manner of tricks here in a bid to cut costs.
Should the clothes made here even be worn?
Never mind issues with shrinking and fading. These materials can give you skin problems if you wear them too often.
That's terrifying! Let's take some photos right away as evidence. This way he won't be able to try and deny anything in court. Doesn't look like there's a path here.
Follow me. Let's go up.
Thankfully, I have Chiori here to be my DPS if Kave doesn't cut it.
This place seems like some kind of warehouse. Ugh, and it stinks too. Huh? What's going on? Our way in's been blocked.
He wants to trap us in the factory.
Seems like he knew we'd be coming.
You did say he knew you really well, didn't you?
Yes. And that's because we used to be partners.
But you're practically at each other's throats!
When I first came to Fontaine, we were both fledgling designers who longed to gain a foothold in the world of fashion. In the beginning, we both wanted to make clothes that would stand out from the crowd and shatter tradition. The kind of clothes that would turn heads and leap. But with every criticism we received, and every sponsor that rejected us, finally, right before Fashion Week, he came to the conclusion that we wouldn't be able to make the designs we always dreamed of. And for my part, I gambled it all and devoted everything I had to that 1 week. I came out the other side with something that really made me proud. I was nervous to present it, of course.
You received the acclaim of all Fontaine while Uter gave up on his dream and turned to making this sketchy stuff.
I don't know the exact details of what happened after that. All I know is, after I opened Chiori Boutique, he's harassed me every year since.
He's just jealous of what you've accomplished. A guy like that doesn't deserve your sympathy.
Well, let's focus on getting out of here first. Missing the show is as good as letting him win.
There are some control panels over there. Let's see if any of those buttons do anything. Oh, that doesn't seem to have done anything. That didn't do anything either.
Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
Look over there. Seems like there's a way out. Maybe we can use these mechanisms to get higher.
I just think Kave ends up joining the club with Ningguang and Klee as just too clunky to really be that good. Klee at least has the benefit of having a defense nerf. With C2 Klee, but Ningguang doesn't really have anything going for her, and that's a chest.
We finally finally made it out. Huh? Why does it feel like the movement patterns of those mechs have changed?
Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders. Initiating shutdown procedure. Warning,
Really?
warning. Unauthorized intruders. Initiating shutdown procedure.
Might see what I can do with this team though. It has two, technically three healers.
Unauthorized intruders. Initiating shutdown procedure.
Barina's an excellent off-fielder. Yao Yao is not a bad off-fielder. Dori can really help with the battery effect. So I'm not, so I can run a good main field DPSer. Ugh. Just talked about how terrible this water is and now we're swimming in it.
We're finally out of that stinky place. Let's take this evidence and get out of here. Finally, the entrance! At last!
Oh, those chambers couldn't hold you, I see. What a surprise.
We've collected a bunch of evidence on all the nasty stuff happening at your factory.
The evidence on your person, you mean? What makes you...
Yes, because the person that fought a literal god is actually going to be stopped by a few mechs.
More mechanical guards? Really? Ever thought about using these funds for a legitimate purpose?
Oh, but this is...
What? Destroying Chiori Boutique? Or continuing to make your rotten rags?
Proving that fashion is merely a laughable farce. A carnival of ignorance!
You know what your problem is, Uter? You've become so obsessed with the concept of fashion itself that you let it paralyze you. Stop trying to cater to it. Focus on your own work, and you get to decide what fashion means.
Spare me the lecture, why don't you? Sooner or later, you'll cater to all the voices too, you know. After all, what is fashion but another form of public...
Fashion is about aspiring towards a certain ideal. But it's up to you to decide what it is. My brand caters to no one but myself and my vision. That's my ideal, and it's not going to change.
Well, once the people witness their former darling's spectacular fall, they'll understand how laughable...
That's what you've been trying to prove all this time? Your jaded understanding of the industry is the reason you've had it out for my brand for so long? You weren't like this before, Uter. What happened to the man who wanted to make something that would bring the entire world to its knees?
He realized long ago how utterly naive and ridiculous that dream was.
You gave up on your dream, but that wasn't enough, was it? You had to find a way to prove to yourself that it could never have been possible at all. You think you understand, but you're just a bitter man who let his regrets dictate his choices. You regret giving up on your dream. So you stopped at nothing to prove to yourself that it wasn't the wrong choice. This whole thing, Uter. It's pathetic.
Pathetic? Why don't you take a look in the mirror? You're a fool daydreaming about taking all of Tibet by storm. Well, good luck doing that when even Fontaine doesn't have a place for you anymore.
You're right. Maybe all those who pursue their dreams are fools. But more pitiful still are cowards who are too afraid to even attempt what the fool is brave enough to try.
You...
Yeah, just leave this guy to us!
No, you go instead.
But he hasn't...
It'll be fine. Just go to the venue and tell everyone to proceed. I'll deal with him. Some lesson.
Catch up with us soon!
Trying to leave, are we?
I've held back all this time because of our past partnership, Uter. But all that changed after our tour of your factory.
Still trying to talk tough, I see.
No matter what you've been through, if I may borrow the words of a friend, a guy like you doesn't deserve my sympathy. Allow me to show you the truth. The Chiori brand represents more than a person or a trademark. It's a way of life.
Greetings, friends at Fontaine Fashion Week. Please feast your eyes on the extravaganza that Chiori Boutique has prepared for you today.
Brilliant, dazzling, and wholly unique. And most importantly,
An enduring, never-say-die spirit. That's the true meaning of the Chiori brand. And now, let's welcome the thundering seamstress, Miss Chiori herself!
Did Chiori not...
Lights! Cameras! Over here, please!
Let the show begin!
Yeah, they were the models.
world may change, fashion along with it, but Chiori will remain the same. No challenge is too great. Chiori caters to no one. Not even the times. Rather, Chiori will always lead the fashion of our time. Finally, let's not forget.
This makes me at least respect Chiori. I don't know if I'd still ever pull for
Only
her,
those who
but
do
it
not give up
definitely
on their
makes me
dreams
respect her.
Are worthy of this brand.
Which is more than I can say for some characters.
Well then,
You
I
look.
suppose all that's left to say is, Happy Fashion Week, fellow dreamers.
How about this?
A little more to the left.
Like this?
Perfect.
Phew. Oh, that looks great! Miss Chiori, can I take a picture?
Of course.
I didn't know you'd make a brand new signboard.
I made it before Fashion Week. I figured it'd be best to put it up after the success of the show.
Well, how can you become renowned through all of Tevat without a fancy signboard of your own? The Spina's way ahead of you in that regard.
Now that you mention it, perhaps our magic troupe could use one of those.
Our signatures are the Grinmalkin Cat and the Bogglecat box. Oh, and we need to add Pear as well.
Pear would need an alias, of course. How about... the Hangry Bird.
So, does that mean your signboard is going to be 2 cats and a penguin stuffed into a single hat?
Ooh, that sounds super snuggly and warm.
And a bit cramped.
Miss Chiori, I'm done taking pictures. You can expect the article in tomorrow's Steambird, along with the evidence the Traveler gathered.
Thank you, Charlotte.
It's my pleasure. Bringing the truth to light is a journalist's duty.
Going forward, feel free to custom order any accessories you need for Monsieur Verite. It's on the house.
Huh? You really mean it?
Of course. The same goes for you too, Linny and Lynette. If you have need of any costumes in the future, just drop me a note.
What about something other than a costume?
Thank you, Chiori. It's much appreciated.
Well, I don't really need anything. Just don't be a stranger, alright?
I don't need anything either. So long as you continue to request my international courier services from Komania Express, we're golden.
Actually, that reminds me. When will you be leaving, Kirara?
Huh? About that.
The Spina di Rosula has prepared a special
She's
visit
already
for you,
put the
so
sunglasses on.
and we'll split the way out of Fontaine.
This is why I love Navia.
Of course. Just hold on a second.
Disrupting public order at the show, appropriating venue lighting equipment without authorization, using weaponry in public, hosting a dangerous performance without notifying the authorities.
Shivers, we can explain!
If you come across anyone who matches those descriptions, please report them to the Special Patrol at your earliest convenience.
I got hiccups
Enjoyed
now.
that, didn't you? You nearly scared me half to death.
Says the one who pulled that stunt earlier. How about you do me a favor and tell me in advance next time you're planning something like that?
And if I had, would you have approved?
No, but it would have at least spared me a whole lot of anxiety.
Well, I would say I more than made it up to you, have I not? A whole underground workshop in the Fleuve Sandra, and the man responsible all tied up and handed to you on a silver platter. Sounds pretty thoughtful if you ask me.
All right, I won't argue with you. You can have this one.
Well, friends, I would say we've earned ourselves a nice meal for our efforts. Let's go. Spina's treat.
I'll have to take a rain check. I've still got a lot of paperwork to take care of, so you all go have fun. Oh, by the way, Chiori, I ran into Vanger on the way here. He had a message for you.
I don't need to hear it. I'm sure the old fool used pretty much every apology in the book. I'll just visit him some other day and give him a hard time about everything.
You know him well.
Thanks again.
At the very least, like,
My pleasure.
Ringer, I can't blame him.
One last thing.
He was completely like, it's not like he just, it was nothing personal. He didn't believe the rumors, but he has his own business to protect, and he told her as such.
Follow me if you want in on the
Right?
celebration feast.
He even specifically said, after all this blows over, we'll be back. Right?
Traveler, Paimon. Could
So,
you wait for me at that place with the view? I'll let Navia know that we'll be a little late. There's something I'd like to give you.
A place with a view? Oh, Paimon knows where you mean. Sure.
Perfect. I'll...
Okay, before we do that, I need to kick Kaveh out of this team. Alright. Who's someone that has a good DPS-related burst? You know what? Screw it. Everything's moving back to how it was.
There's still a long road ahead.
Don't fear. Yo-Yo's here.
Let the wind lead.
I would still like to try and figure out how to make Dory work, though. But I just find he's very clunky.
I'm on the case.
Stay close and you will live.
Yeah, this team's very particular. Jean's one of the best healer counters to Farina's problem, and having a second Animo allows her to generate energy faster. And then Raiden is also a good battery as well as an off-fielder. I almost want more team sets. I'd love to have a team of just my favorites, but I don't know how effective that team would be, because it would be Navia, Nahida, Dia, and Seiyu. Three of those characters do not pair at all together. It'd basically be Catalyst burning Swirl. Not Catalyst, sorry. Crystallize. Let's play this team for a bit. Or go see Chiori. We're just gonna do this quickly.
Add Astra at... Thank you for Add Astra...
I will probably steal one of my teams and use it just for dailies. So I'm not like, as fun as it is to get Albedo to max, the other three are already at max. Miko, Charlotte, and Navi are all at max, so I'm kind of wasting friendship points, as dailies are the best way to get them.
Here, take...
You get one of these from all the character stories, right? Some type of unique item.
A brooch! And in the style of Chiori Boutique too! Wait, Paimon gets one as well?
I've only made 2 for now. After much consideration, I decided to give them to you two.
I'll take good care of
You've been
it.
a great help. Even when things were looking bleak, you stayed by my side. There were even times when I felt like I had to fight back and win, even if it was just to honor the trust that you had in me.
Well, we may have helped a little, but Paimon would say you deserve most of the credit. This result, it was all you, Chiori.
I know for certain that was not the case. I've chased my dream for so long that I've come to understand something. Apart from conviction and persistence, the thing that matters most is having friends who believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. A single person can only do so much. Without all your help, Chiori Boutique could have easily fallen to ruin.
Well, Paimon doesn't think it would have ever gotten to that point. Not if you had anything to say about it. But, about the stuff you said at the show, you aren't worried it'll rub some people the wrong way?
Perhaps my words were a little pretentious, but they do reflect how I truly feel. I won't bow or scrape before any force in this world, much less any individual. I'm confident in the quality of my work. Create something beautiful, and there will always be people who appreciate it.
Well, guess there's nothing to worry about then. Should we go back and join them at the victory
I
feast?
really would like to see the outcome of the paper,
But
which
before that,
I know we won't. But
I'd like to admire the view for just a little while longer. You know, of all the nights I've spent in Fontaine, I'd say this is the loveliest by far.
yeah. Like I said, I really would have liked to see the ending to that. Alright. Well, that's pretty much done. Let's head to the teapot.
This realm is...
Yeah, Yao Yao is pretty close to maxing out too. Let's get those 10 furnishings made. We'll just look for rest of the things I haven't made yet. Perfect.
If you ever have any...
I don't really have anything else to do, and it's 1:30 a.m., so that's pretty much where the stream's going to end. And yeah, I just wanted to get the Chiori story done. In all honesty, don't regret it. Was it the best character story out there? No. But I think pretty... Yeah, I've said it before, but I don't think there's a single one that can be worse than Eula's. I did not like Eula's. Like, still gets me that a lot of... Yeah, I guess she's attractive as a person, like physically, but where did I go? I accidentally swatted gum off my desk, and I took out a sleeve of gum to potentially consume, and I have no idea what my... Right. No, I'll find it eventually. Oh no, there it is. Never mind. Yeah. I never even had to use the gum. But yeah, like did that make me, you know, a Chiori fan? To a degree. Like, I heavily respect her ideals. That's for sure. Which is more than I can say about a good chunk of characters in this game. There's some characters I just like, some characters that look cool, but there's also a lot of characters that we don't really know enough about to really have an opinion on them. Like, I bring up Sarah. Sarah's a prime example of a character we don't know a lot about, right? That I'd love to learn more about, right? I swear to God, I feel like I know more about Kirara than I do about Sarah. And Kirara's barely been in the game. I'm not even kidding. Right? So, I'd like, you know, but I have heavy respect for her ideals, for sure. But with that said, I'm going to call it here. I'll set up the stream for tomorrow for Tokyo Mirage, and we'll pick up where we left off, or sort of pick up where we left off, because if everyone remembers, that was when I game overed and lost 4 hours of progress that I had to redo entirely off stream after I rage quit the stream. Gonna make sure I save more often from this point forward. By the way, in the process of trying to redo all that, I discovered something. Savage enemies can appear in the first idolosphere, and they can kill you. within 5-10 minutes of trying to get credit back, of trying to reclaim everything I did, I game overed again. So dumb. I almost did it a third time too, but I managed to break out of that. But yeah, I'm not gonna make those dumb mistakes again. I'm gonna save as much as I fucking humanly possibly can. So dumb a game in 2016 doesn't have autosaves. Or at the very least, like, I'll boot you out of the dungeon type mechanic. Oh, game over. Get the fuck back to the office. Right? I can't even believe that. Even Skyrim, while it boots you to your last save when you die, at least has autosaves. So you can reload back at the entrance of the map or something like that. The worst case scenario in Skyrim is that you spent a large chunk of time on the overworld when you die, where there's not as much, where I think there's a time-based autosave in the game, but for the most part there isn't open world autosaving. So you just get, if you spent a lot of time doing stuff without entering into any form of house or dungeon or anything, dying, yes, would reset a lot. Like, for example, if you decided to travel around Skyrim, killing giant camps without fast traveling, yeah. But in all honesty, almost everything you do in Skyrim triggers triggers an autosave, right? So I just find that really dumb. Oh, on another note, I did finally get the SD card, or the not SD card, the hard drive working on my Wii U, so I have access to all my games again. Which is good. The problem is none of the saves were saved, so it's a little disheartening, but a lot of the saves were made prior to me streaming anyway. The only thing I really lost that streaming related are games I already completed. So like, I lost Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland, which I streamed a long time ago. And then I lost, I think it was that was the first game I streamed with the Elgato after I got it. And then I lost my Golden Sun and Golden Sun Lost Age data. But other than that, like, I lost personal data, like my perfected Wind Waker. And when I say perfected, I mean like I got all the figures and stuff. All the optional shit. I lost all that. So, you know, that's heartbreaking, but I'm not too worried about it. I'll probably just redo it all on stream anyways. Twilight Princess, the third version of Twilight Princess I never fully beat. Oh no. And I can't, like, there is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky. I think I had a file on that. Oh, you know what? I did have a file on that, but I'm not going to complain about that because that was the one that got affected by, so what happened is there's a website where, so all the missions in the game have these codes. And the reason behind the codes is you can give the codes to your friends and they can get that mission. But someone managed to make a generator for the codes. So you can basically pick the type of mission you want, pick your reward, and then run it. And that allows you to basically just get whatever you want in a way. Like, get all the difficult rewards and stuff ASAP. It's pretty broken. So while I was doing that, I accidentally made a save state, and then like I beat the game and did a bunch of end game content stuff, and I accidentally loaded the save state and lost literally everything I did. In the Wii U, there's no way to revert save states. So yeah, I never touched the game again since. But I do love Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky. I'll probably play that on stream at some point. Not gonna lie, I probably will use that code system, but I probably, like, I don't know if I'll exploit it. What I used to do, I used it to avoid grinding, because I'd use it to get like golden seeds, which is like +5 levels. I used to use it to get my guys to like level 60, like right off the bat, because you can do it once you have to go chase after Drowsy. And then the other thing I would use it for is the beans or whatever, like whatever to get the IQ. I would max out the IQ of my characters, especially the main 2 party members, because they basically do everything. My dream team in that game it was Palkia, Ampharos. I think it's still on my DS copy of the game, but Palkia, Ampharos, and Deoxys. Because they all have all-terrain hiker, which allows them to walk over any terrain, which is huge for travel. Ampharos has discharge, which can hit every enemy in the room. Palkia has spatial rend and earth power, which also hit every enemy in the room. Plus, it has a unique IQ skill only to it that allows it to not only walk on any terrain, but walk through terrains, like literally destroy the walls and stuff. But anyway, hey, Gina, sorry. You arrived right at the end of my stream. Yeah, so I'm gonna call it here. I've rambled on a little bit enough. I'll be back tomorrow for, like I said, back tomorrow for some Tokyo Mirage sessions. Hello! I feel bad saying hello when I'm about to say goodbye. I'm literally just ending my stream now. But it is almost 2 a.m. here. Considering the last 2 streams I canceled because I was dozing off while and before streaming, I want to make sure I get enough sleep for Tokyo Mirage. So with that said, I'm gonna call it here. You could be. I also don't normally stream this late too, so to be fair, I'm usually done streaming by this point in time. I rarely stream on nights I close at work, so starting a stream at 11 p.m. for me is very rare. If I'm closing, I generally don't stream at all. But anyway, with that said, my name's Daimien Kamiya. I'm the Omni King. And be a friend for or a member of the Omni Council. I'm going to see you later. Goodbye, everyone.